arguments and fights are unavoidable.
It happens to every
But
couple.
if you're getting those like right away, that is a major red flag.
You will sneeze and you will leave snot and spit on your arm.
I'm not going to crash the car to get some boogers off my arm.
Without warning, all of a sudden, I have an open mouth and tongue all over my face. Think excited puppy licking your face.
One thing led to another, and we ended up in his bed. When we were done, he got up to shower, and that was the moment when I realized that the bed sheets were totally wet. My boobies just decided that it would be nice to give him a little shower. Hey, before we get started, if you could please subscribe and hit the like button. It tells the algorithm like, hey, this person likes the episode, so we'll push out more episodes to them. So if you like this show, definitely subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. We love you guys. Okay, now on to the episode. What's up, dudes? And welcome back to the Unplanned podcast.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Today, we have some fun stories to tell.
I'm so excited. We had you guys submit your worst date experiences on our Unplanned podcast Instagram. Shout out to everyone that did that. If you're not following the Instagram, we'll put a link in the description.
Also, guys, poor Matt does not feel good right now. I feel bad.
Well, you know what? I feel bad for you because you are nearing the end of the pregnancy, and I feel like you probably don't feel good all the time. So I know that I don't feel good, but I feel bad that you're also not feeling good.
Yeah, I don't feel great.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
You look so cute, though. Your bump's bumping today. You look really cute in your dress.
You can see my belly moving.
It looks like a prosthetic. Seriously, your belly has popped so much that it doesn't even look real. But it's so cute. Wow, I'm seeing all those kicks.
You can literally see this kid is crazy. I keep saying it. Griffin, our firstborn, is going to be our calm, sweet guy.
Yeah.
And then I think that the second baby is going to be our wild card.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think they're going to look alike, too.
We had an ultrasound. Yeah, I think they're going to look a lot alike. We had an ultrasound yesterday. Gosh, was that yesterday?
Yeah.
Our days have been jam-packed, but it was so sweet, but he was just going crazy the whole time. So we couldn't see his face. He was just squirming and kicking, and the sonographer was like, he is very active, which is, of course, is so reassuring, but I'm like, yeah, I want to have an ultrasound going on like in the middle of the night when he's like literally doing backflips, it feels like.
Oh my gosh.
I want to see what's actually going on in there. But
totally. Yeah, we've had families staying with us. Abby's parents are about to move in with us. We're going to have her parents living actually in this podcast studio. This will be one of their rooms that they'll have. We'll probably like put a TV in here for them to
it'll be a multi-purpose room.
Yeah, it'll be multi-purpose. We'll get to film our podcast and they'll get to, chill out in here. And
yeah, my dad's also going to work. He's going to be working online. And
literally in the corner.
Oh, you know what? That's going to be plenty of space for a desk.
Yeah, this will be
We need
great.
to get one of those standing desks for him.
We do need to do that. Oh my gosh.
There's a lot of things going on with the baby moon. We're taking a trip to LA for some exciting things. Like, all of this is happening, and we're also having a baby in like 8 weeks.
Also, let us know in the comments, like, how you've been liking the recent episodes. We had some big guests on the show. We're going to have another big guest coming on here soon. And we just want your feedback. We want to know how you guys are enjoying the podcast. And if you could leave us a review, it really does so much for the show and encourages us to keep on going. So definitely leave a review. You can do that on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And that just really helps us out.
This man is going crazy in my belly. Yeah. Before we get started, I thought it'd be funny if we kind of told some of our date stories. Here's the thing. When you've been together for 7 years,
we got some crazy stories, okay?
We've had so many dates that it's kind of like hard for certain ones to stick out, you know?
I know.
But something that I think is sweet that was like a reoccurring thing on dates that I used to do is that back in like high school and college, budgets were tight.
Yeah.
And so for date night, Matt would go to the dining hall at our university and he would eat a pre-dinner before our dinner date. So he didn't have to spend as much at dinner to get full.
Well, I was so hungry at dinner and I didn't want to like break the bank to, I don't know, have to pay for a date. So rather than like me eating a ton of food, because I eat a lot of food, I would go to our dining hall in college and eat before the date, and then I could just enjoy it. Like, we'd go to a sushi place and I could have like one sushi roll and we would just talk and chat, because sometimes if I have food in front of me, all I can think about is the food.
I know. That's actually another reason why you did that, because he does this. You do this now, like even now, but you will just like scarf down your food. You don't even look up. You barely take a breath for air.
I don't know.
When you
I
have
guess,
food, it's like you've gone through some traumatic event where you were starved.
Well, I grew up with brothers, and when the food was gone, the food was gone. So if you ate faster, you got to eat more. And not that I like grew up in poverty or anything, but like I definitely I had a good childhood. But I just yeah, we all love to eat. I still love to eat, but I would just eat really really fast.
That's why I tell him often when we're eating, I'm like, Matt, I'm not going to take your food. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
going to take it off your plate. You eat like I'm going to, like, just, like, snatch it away at any moment. And so you would do that so you could focus and talk on the date, which is really sweet, but then also,
Yeah.
of course, to save money.
But what would you say is one of our worst date experiences though? Because that's not like necessarily a worst date.
I see. I
experience.
can't think of, like, anything in
I
particular.
can think of something particular.
Well, obviously,
We
like,
went-
when we're on a fight during a date, but, like, those
Well,
aren't,
yeah,
like...
no, but we this year we went to this fancy restaurant, and let me tell you guys, like we love going to fancy restaurants every now and again. It might be expensive, but you know, if you only go, you know, twice a year, it's worth, you know, maybe $100. Hey, if we're really gonna send it, maybe even like 150 or 200 on a really nice dinner, because it's like it's all about the experience. It's all about just like sharing that special moment together.
Okay, but there's a difference between a nice dinner and then gourmet.
I know. And so we accidentally ended up at this place that was gourmet. We show up, they didn't have any prices on the menus.
That's red flag number one.
I started to panic immediately. Okay, and you know, like I was like thinking, okay, hey, if it's maybe it'll be 200, because I think one of the nicest dinners we ever had was probably like 100. So I was like, hey, this place might be 200, but it's gonna be all right.
You have to set the scene though. We're at this table alone outside in this like courtyard. There is not a soul at this restaurant.
I thought we were gonna get murdered.
It felt, and there's like weird 90s music playing. It felt like, it did feel like a murder mystery movie.
Yeah.
And we have our private, like, he was kind of like a butler, honestly.
It was weird. It made me kind of feel uncomfy.
And he was just like, at this table, there's only one option, and it's the 5-course meal. What would you like? And we're like, well, take that, I guess, if that's our option. And so then the plates start coming.
But I think the most painful thing is all the portion sizes were so tiny. Like I'm talking like
One
the
bite.
tiniest. Like it was literally like one bite, and they brought portions.
Like one crostini.
Yeah, and they'd bring it to you every like 20 to 30 minutes. So we're there so hungry, like eating a bite every 20 minutes, and it was torture, okay?
And the bites were less than appealing.
Exactly, because they were serving us bone marrow and liver. They gave us like
The liver
duck
was
liver.
the worst. You know,
So
pregnant ladies
gross.
aren't supposed to have liver.
Yikes.
I Googled that.
What about fish eggs? And we have like fish eggs too,
Yeah,
or
you're probably
something?
not supposed to have that either. Caviar.
Caviar.
We had caviar. We had raw beef,
It was
swordfish.
so and the swordfish was gross. I thought the swordfish might taste good. It sounded good. It did not taste good.
It was one of those fancy places that actually serves you like sorbet before dinner,
Yeah.
like before your main course.
But I think-
this was the most annoying thing. The best part of that meal was the dessert, and they only gave us one to split.
I think what shocked me though is when we saw the bill.
Yeah.
And that's where I literally started laughing. I was so shocked.
Wait, we have
because
to tell them what I was doing though. We were right next to a fireplace.
Abby was literally chucking the food in the
I was
fireplace
spitting
because it was
into
so
there.
bad.
I was like,
The food, we were just like cracking jokes. Honestly, we were having a good time.
was a fun date.
Because of how horrible it was. Like the experience was so horrible that we were like laughing about it. And then
and 3 hours later we get the
look
bill.
at the bill. 3 hours later, after we rushed them, they were offended that we wanted to get the bill because we had to get home to put Griffin to sleep because it was like 9 o'clock or no, maybe it's like 9:30. And we get the bill, and it was for $500.
That's outrageous.
$500 for dinner. Like
That's like our grocery bill for 2 weeks.
I don't even understand how you can charge that much money for a dinner.
It was. Here's the thing.
I wanted to throw up.
No food is that good for $500 for one meal, but let alone this food.
And look, like maybe if it was like the absolute best dining experience I've ever had in my whole entire life, maybe I would have been like, okay, you know what? Yes, this is freaking outrageous, but this was like an incredible experience. No, you could not pay me enough to go back to this place. It was horrible.
I think we just learned that gourmet dining isn't. We're not cut out for that.
I don't know though, because we've had some pretty fancy food and we liked it a lot.
But this was a different level. I feel like this is more for the experience.
Yeah.
Whereas I think if you're like if you're a gourmet diner, you go for the experience, where we really go for the food.
Yeah.
And we go to come out full.
Yeah, but all that to say, we're now going to get into your worst date experiences. I'm really excited for these.
Yeah, thank you to everyone who sent these in. We haven't seen them yet, so
yeah, we had somebody
it's
pick
gonna
these
be
out
really
for us.
fun.
So You want to get into
Okay.
it?
So this first one, this person would like to remain anonymous.
First date was a guy I'd met before, but didn't remember until halfway through the date. We went ice skating and saw Christmas lights, which was fine. Then at the end, he kissed me like 3 times, and it was so awkward. Then afterwards, he was saying how it was his best kiss yet, but it was horrible. Always don't kiss on the first date, guys, unless you can clearly tell the girl wants to, lol.
Okay, rip. We kissed on the first date.
Yeah, we definitely broke that rule. I don't know, it was the right move though. Even though our first kiss was horrible, it was electric though.
Here's the thing. It's not about like when you have the first kiss. It's about how it goes.
And the thing is, I think the first time it can be bad but be really good, because the first time, like the actual first time, can be bad but still be good, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like our
Yeah,
first,
like if things are going well, no, it doesn't matter how the actual kiss goes. It's like you're gonna think in your head it's just like magical and special.
yeah, it's if you like really
But
like the
clearly
person.
things weren't tracking before
Yeah.
it already. But also it's incredibly weird to reflect upon the first kiss on that same date still.
Yeah.
To be like, that was such a good kiss.
I know.
That's weird.
That is really weird.
That's pretty dorky too.
Oh my gosh.
That's uncomfortable. Yeah, but hey, Christmas lights and ice skating, that's pretty romantic and sweet. That's like a Hallmark movie.
That's cute. We've done that before. We need to go ice skating again. I miss those dates. We used to do that in college.
I'm terrible, but I think it's fun.
You look so cute. I have pictures of you in your leggings. Like you had these like cute leggings on.
Oh, in
and a top.
Springfield?
Yeah, in Springfield.
I was thinking
I
when
thought
we
you
went-
looked so hot, and I would like look at those pictures all the time. Like, wow, my girlfriend's so freaking beautiful.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Do you know that sometimes I get a little jealous when you look at old pictures of me?
Really? Like
Even
you
though
want
it's still me, I'm like, don't look at me pre-pregnancy right now.
really interesting. I think it's just fun to like.
I feel like you're cheating on current me with past
What?
me.
I just like to reminisce on like past experiences. I just saw, oh my gosh, this about melted my heart. Almost made me tear up. I was going through our SD cards before filming the podcast, and I found all this footage of us back in October as a family with Griffin, and seeing how little he was and him laughing for the first time, and then like it just melted my heart. I didn't even know what to do. I almost went and showed you, but then I didn't want you to cry.
Oh, was that around
Yeah.
Halloween?
Yeah.
When I was wearing the black
It was
outfit
when we were
and he
in,
was in his little pumpkin?
We were at Myrtle Beach. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
So sweet. What's the next one?
This one's from Brooklyn. I'd been super nervous about this date. We've been together for 9 months. That's kind of weird that she's nervous after
Oh yeah.
9 months.
Yeah.
Anyway, and things were okay for the most part. He was always jealous of me talking to guys as friends, but I didn't care. He had this one friend who was a girl that made me uncomfortable. We both agreed that he wouldn't talk about her around me. Then we went on a date to a Holocaust museum and things were okay. During this date, he decided that he was going to start texting her. He told me about it and I was a little bit upset. He tells her that I was upset about it
Whoa.
and that he was mad at me for it. For a while, he wouldn't tell me that what he said, and he got so mad at me that he decided to leave me alone and walk away in the middle of the Holocaust museum, and I started bawling my eyes out. Let's just say that relationship didn't last very much longer.
Wow. Wait, why are you texting another girl while you're on a date actively with?
With your current 9-month girlfriend.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
Here's my question. Like, if you're not gonna be exclusive, then why even like entertain that?
Yeah,
Like,
why'd you even ask her out?
Yeah.
Like, ask her to be your girlfriend.
I will say though, I think that back in the day, people tended to go on more dates, and it wasn't necessarily exclusive. Like you could just go on dates with people, and it wasn't a big deal. And I feel like
No,
now
but it says they'd been together for 9 months.
that's true. That's true. They were together 9 months.
That's different
bad.
than going on dates.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
also, it seems like this relationship was doomed already because they were both already jealous and like
Yeah.
feeling weird about. I don't know. I don't remember us ever going through any jealousy things. Because did you? You definitely didn't. Did I?
I wasn't jealous. No.
You honestly had a lot of
I mean,
girlfriends.
you were actively going on dates when I asked you out for the first time.
That's the thing though. I was going on dates, but it wasn't exclusive. I feel like
I think
people
the guy
now.
thought that it was more exclusive because that guy was pissed, and I think that in his mind, you guys were kind of, I don't know.
That's his
committed.
fault because he asked me to be his girlfriend and I said no. So
That's true. That is true.
I think that we should bring back
Were you cuddling with
casual
this-
dating culture.
Were you cuddling with this guy? Would you cuddle on the couch?
There might have been a couple cuddles.
Did he ever squeeze your tush?
No, I would never
wow.
allow.
Would you slap him in the face?
I did not let him kiss me. No.
I remember. I actually. I touched your butt, and then I started making the joke, "Call me
Okay,
Nemo."
that's disgusting.
I made the joke,
I
"Call
feel
me
so uncomfortable that you did that.
I said, "Call me Nemo" because he touched the butt, whatever. Like that was part of the Nemo movie. Remember that?
Why did you think that joke was okay? You put that on Instagram.
I put it
like,
on
right
Instagram.
away.
Nobody got it though. It was an inside joke. I thought it was hilarious.
Baby, I feel like people probably figured that out and they were like, that's weird. Now I feel weird about that.
I'm sorry.
That's my worst date story. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, do you want to read this one from Beth?
Yes, what we got, Beth. I went on a date with a guy. He asked me to bring deodorant with me because he didn't have a shower because he was out the night before and stayed at a friend's house. He then showed up in the same clothes he had worn the day before. Whoa. And to bed last night. He stank. Okay, that's disgusting. He then got absolutely wasted. We're talking like 25 beers. Wow.
What?
That's crazy. I didn't even know that you could drink that much. And pissed.
Well, Matt, you can't drink one without
Oh my gosh.
feeling.
Stop. I can drink a beer and
Matt's
be fine.
a lightweight. It's
Abby,
okay. It's really cute.
Okay, I don't drink often, but when I do, usually what it is
when
like
you do, you get fun though. Like you get a little bit more like laughy and silly.
I am not a lightweight. I am a regular weight.
Matt.
I'm regular.
No, Matt.
I'm
You'll
regular.
have one beer and you'll be like, do you guys feel it?
Abby, I'm crazy without alcohol. Let's be honest.
I know. That's
Yeah.
why the alcohol has a
So
fast effect on
He
you.
pissed in the street twice. So yeah, that was pretty bad. Oh, and he missed his last train home, so I had to drive him. Wow. Trains. I know that people are still taking trains these days.
It was probably a big city.
I bet you they either live in the city or they live in Europe because I know like trains are big in Europe.
That is a terrible date.
Jeez, why would you drink? Oh my gosh.
Body odor is something that I
That's
would have
so
zero
gross.
tolerance for.
That's disgusting.
Zero tolerance.
Man. Okay, question for
you
you
have
though.
good hygiene.
Thank you. Question for you though. Like you always get on me about like breath. Like
Oh yeah.
But like was that an issue in the beginning of us dating or did you not even notice? Cuz like I have like nothing's changed.
You know, I think I've told you this before. There was one specific time your breath almost made me throw up when we were kissing when
Wow.
we first started dating.
Oh, was it cuz we had like ice cream and then it was like the smell
Yeah,
of the ice cream?
it was ice cream sandwich.
You are very sensitive to that though.
To breath?
Yeah, you
Oh
are.
yeah,
You're
I
very
am.
sensitive.
Yeah, I am. Honestly, don't get too close to me because I didn't brush my teeth this morning.
You didn't brush your teeth today?
I didn't.
What? Why not?
No, why? It's because I was still drinking my coffee when I was doing my makeup, and then I didn't want to brush my teeth when I had done my makeup because I didn't want
Howard.
to wipe it off.
Hey, you want to know a secret?
What?
I don't brush my teeth in the morning.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know that. I do know that for a fact.
I don't know. I just get started with my day and then I'm like, frick. And then I end up using mouthwash and then I brush my teeth at night. If you're not brushing your teeth at night, that's disgusting. You
You're
can't
gonna
go to
get
bed.
gingivitis.
You can't go to bed without brushing your teeth. That to me is
No,
just
that's
like.
that's serial killer
But you know what
stuff.
is weird is like if you brush your teeth and then you go on to like eat a full breakfast and a coffee, like you still have the taste of toothpaste in your
No,
mouth.
not really.
It's kind of gross.
No.
All right, what do we got next?
This one's from Rachel. Not worst date, but one time I had a guy I barely knew, just kissed one night and talked for a few months after. We didn't live near each other. Texted me the early morning of his wedding saying he wished he was with me.
Whoa.
That
whoa,
was years
whoa,
after the
whoa.
kiss. Figured he had to have too much to drink and sent it. I didn't know it was a wedding day until I saw it on Facebook later that day.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
What a crazy story.
Did you have any thoughts like that ever on your wedding day?
No. I definitely got cold feet. I think we both did.
I got cold feet the day before, like right before the rehearsal.
I think you're just like, holy F, like I'm locking this in.
Yeah.
You
it's
know,
a
there's no going
crazy,
back.
It's a huge
Yeah.
commitment. But like I was thinking about this. I've been seeing a lot of TikToks about like things that people would change about their weddings. I cannot think of one thing I would change about our wedding.
Our wedding was really fun.
I cannot think of one thing.
Yeah, I agree. Your mom did a great job planning it.
Yeah, it's probably because my mom planned
we
it. She's
lucked
very
out.
good at that stuff. But then also, I said this even then. I was like, if at the end of the day I'm married to Matt Howard, it'll be the perfect day. And
Yeah.
so now I literally am like, that was perfect.
Yeah.
But what I wouldn't have changed anything. It was perfect.
I think it's just scary because, I don't know, even with like friends in your life, if you have a really close friend, maybe one day you part separate ways and you go your own directions. But with the marriage, it's not like you really do that. Like you're kind of in it.
I mean, even your kids, like it's a huge commitment. You'll be a parent for the rest of your life.
True.
But they move out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to cry thinking about that. We got to move on.
I know.
That one's from Anonymous.
Anonymous. I went on a date with a guy just to find out he was a kleptomaniac.
Do you know what that is?
What is
It's
that?
where you obsessively steal things.
Oh my gosh. And stole full sets of silverware from every restaurant he goes to. Wow. He told me about it after the date while showing me a full box of stolen silverware that he keeps under his bed.
Okay.
Wow. That is weird.
That's
That is
like
re-
hard to believe.
I understand it's an illness. Like I understand they
Yeah,
have
it's
something
hard to believe
wrong.
it's an
But I'm like,
illness.
what the freak's wrong with you?
Like, get that taken care of. That's not
Yeah.
yours.
That's sad.
Have you ever stolen anything?
I actually haven't. Other than if you consider getting a water cup at a restaurant and getting soda, I've done that. a couple times. I still go to my mom. My mom, if they don't have lemon to put in her water, she'll put some lemonade in the cup and then put water in it.
She just knows.
I'm like, Mom,
thrifty.
you know that's stealing, right? And she's like, no, it's not. They don't have lemon.
Okay, this is also from Anonymous. Went to the fair with a guy I'd been talking to for a while but hadn't kissed yet. This was in high school. We do all the normal fair things, play the games, eat the food, ride the rides. At the end, he was like, want to go on the Ferris wheel to end the night? So Ferris wheel ride ensues. It was a beautiful night, so I leaned my head back, closed my eyes, and soak it all in. Without warning, I, all of a sudden, have an open mouth and tongue all over my face. Think excited puppy licking your face. It was horrible. After what felt like forever, he sits up and says, well, that was awkward. To make things worse, my sandal fell off in the process and hit a carny in the head.
Oh, no.
He gave it back with this awful knowing smirk on his face. It was so terrible. The worst part is we dated for like 6 more months.
Jeez. I don't understand how that could
Do
possibly
you
happen.
want to know something embarrassing? Is that you said the same thing after your first kiss with me.
Yeah, I did say it was awkward afterwards.
But it wasn't that bad. It was just a sweet little smooch.
He was electrical.
But this guy probably said, well, this is awkward, probably because she was so caught off guard and didn't like kiss back.
That just makes me uncomfortable to like visualize that, you know?
Yeah, I pictured like...
I know. Yikes. I don't like that.
That's so bad. And on a Ferris wheel, she can't get away. She's stuck.
Yeah.
That's awful.
That is a horrible situation.
Hit a carny in the head.
Okay, this is from Kaylin. She said, we had been dating for a year before I had the courage to go poop at his house. We were hanging out with his little sister and nephew when I snuck off and went into his bathroom to poop. Well, his toilet decided to act up and not flush. So I tried flushing it like 10 times and it decided to start flooding. No, it wasn't clogged, just not working. And before I knew it, the toilet poop water was all over his bathroom floor. No. His little sister, my now sister-in-law, came and knocked at the door, to which I responded, "Go get your brother." I didn't know what else to do. He walked in to find me cleaning the floor with his towels, and he wasn't worried that I had just pooped and the toilet flooded, but more upset that I had chosen to use his towel to clean the mess. That is so disgusting.
You're weird about towels.
That is weird. Yeah, I mean, like, don't use a clean towel like that. Like, find some paper towels or get like a used nasty towel that's like a rag used on a car. I don't know.
Oh my god.
He came back with a trash bag so we could throw the bath mats away and towels away. I was mortified and so embarrassed at the time, but it's a good story now and we laugh about it all the time. Don't care if it's anonymous or not. He still put a ring on it and gave me 2 cute babies. Aww.
Sweet. Isn't it kind of precious how like when you're dating things are so embarrassing, but when you're married it just gets, it's like, oh, whatever. Anything
I literally
goes.
pooped in front of, I literally pooped my pants in front of you. While we were dating, remember that?
Yeah, you did it like 2 or 3 times.
Those green shorts. I like went to fart and it wasn't a fart.
They were green joggers.
And then I had to like run upstairs.
Yeah.
That was so embarrassing.
You.
Yeah.
Well, you did.
But you still married me.
You cleaned poo-poo off of me.
Oh, I did clean poo-poo off of you. That's right. After your surgery.
We never talked about this.
Oh my gosh, should we talk about it?
It's fine. It's still embarrassing, but like I wasn't embarrassed because it was you.
It was so
really.
sad. You were in so much pain after your hernia surgery.
Yeah, they were pumping me with Miralax.
And I think did you fart or like did it just slip out or what happened?
No, I didn't even know I had to go. Like things were so weird down there. Like so I had a hernia repair and then it obviously hurts to go number 2 and plus also all the anesthesia constipates you.
Yeah.
So I was having so much Miralax and I accidentally pooped all over myself. And Matt had to clean it up.
I cleaned it up.
And you had to clean it off of me.
It's all good.
See, if that happened when we were dating, I would have been mortified. It wasn't great, even though we were married, but it was a lot more comfortable. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is from Anonymous. So this guy DM'd me asking for a date. I doubted if I would accept it or not because it was a random person on the internet, but at the same time, life was getting pretty boring. Finally, I accepted, not looking at his account and deciding if he was a catfish, but puts a condition that I would bring my BFF. I told him that he could bring his too. When I got to the restaurant where we agreed we would meet, he was there with his mother.
What?
He presented her as his best friend.
Oh my god.
Then added that it was his mother. I was shocked, and me and my best friend got out of there as soon as we could. He asked me again a week later. I haven't responded yet. 2 years later. Ha ha ha.
Don't bring your mother on a date.
What in the world?
Golly.
That is just foreshadowing for a terrible relationship with your mother-in-law if you were to ever get married.
Yikes, dude.
The moms that can't let go of their sons.
Yeah. That's uncomfy.
It's so embarrassing.
That is embarrassing.
She's my best friend.
I'm like not that way at all. I feel like I just decided to be, I don't know. I feel bad. I forget to call my parents a lot of times.
Well, your mom's also super good about like respecting
boundaries
and like our marriage and stuff.
Totally. Yeah, you're right. But
she fully, like, when you turned 18, she was kind of like, okay, well.
Yeah.
She knew that her role as a mother had shifted at that point.
And I really did enjoy college, like being independent, getting to be my own person, going off with you, and not having, I mean, I don't know, like my parents are great, but they would tell me what to do. Like I lived in their house and they would just like, order me to do things, and
Order me.
Yeah, I mean,
well, they had expectations for you.
Totally. But it was just nice not having to deal with that, and I could just make my own decisions. And the nice thing about making your own decisions too is if you mess up, it's all on you. So you can't blame your parents, you can't blame other people. It's just, oh, I messed up, that's on me, I gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
What do we got? Okay, I went on a small date to the Mexican restaurant in my town, and this guy, he ordered the biggest meal and then ate and kept being on the phone and then just walked out, and then I had to pay $50 for both meals. Wow.
Okay, that's everything
so
that could have
horrible.
gone wrong went wrong.
That's so bad. Like if you're
on
a guy
your phone eating and then make her pay the bill.
Okay, like look, I think that guys and girls, the guy doesn't need to pay every time. I mean, it depends on kind of the background you come from and kind of the approach you want to have. But but going on a date, being the guy and just walking out, like that is not okay at all. Like if anything, if he didn't like the girl or just wasn't the right fit, like if anything, they could have split it. But like to make her pay, that's ridiculous.
Okay, I think it should be whoever asks who on the date.
That's a good point. That's actually a really good point.
And most of the time, it's the guy that asks her on the date, so it's like it should be.
But then also, if you've been dating 2 years,
that's different. That's different.
Then you can like trade off because you can't. I don't know. If you've been together a long time, I think to put the financial burden of every single date on the guy might be a lot. But I totally agree with you. That's a really good point. If you ask somebody on a date, you're paying for the date.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you invite people to dinner, it's like you should probably pay. I don't know.
Oh, totally. All right, here's the next one.
It's a group date. We're taking a swing dancing class, then going dancing. That's so fun. It says sounds fun, right?
Oh my God.
It was not. They were all friends and knew each other except for me.
Whoa.
Which is not my kind of scene, LOL. The whole night was just awkward and I couldn't wait to get home. Then, of course, wanted to get food after. So this date is just getting uncomfortably long. Finally, I'm getting dropped off. One of his friends was driving. As he's walking me up to the door, his friend drives away.
Oh, shoot.
I was trying to be nice and say, thank you, I had fun, and bye. Then he puts out his hands and goes, we're gonna kiss.
Whoa.
I was stunned and in shock, so I didn't know how to stop it. LOL. He comes in with his mouth wide open. It was awful. I pull away shortly after and say bye, and he goes, one more for the road.
No.
What? And swooped in with his mouth wide open again. It was terrible.
No.
Then leaves, and I never went out with him again. LOL. All my friends know him as open mouth.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, that's so terrible because him and his buddy were like, I'm going to go up to the door with her and like, you just drive away, give us some privacy because I'm going to plant one on her. Like, that he was scheming with that guy.
Yeah. That's so not cool.
That's so gross.
And to try to make the first kiss an open mouth kiss, like, come on. Like, also, that's stupid.
Anybody doing that is kind of weird. Like, don't you warm up to that?
Like, I feel like us being married, like if if the steam has gotten pretty hot, if the mood has shifted, maybe we just send it for open mouth right away. But like to make your first kiss with somebody an open mouth kiss, no, that's just like
disgusting.
That's a hard no. That's a hard no.
That is so gross. And then to also be like, I'm gonna kiss you now.
That's
it's like
weird.
You're really
Don't
creepy and you're really weird.
No, you just no.
Do you think the guy should ask before they kiss?
It really depends. I feel like if the body language is right, if the mood is right, then maybe you don't need to. But then I think so many people are nervous on their first date that they have no idea how to read the room, right?
Yeah, I think that's the thing.
Did I ask you to kiss you?
That's actually a really good
Did
point.
I just send it? I don't think did I ask you?
You didn't ask me.
I think I just sent it.
I think you asked me. No, you didn't. You just kissed me.
So what's your opinion on that?
Honestly, I think it's a good idea to ask because, okay, if you've kissed before, then no, you don't need to ask. But if you haven't kissed before, maybe ask, because maybe you're just misreading it because you feel nervous.
That would have been so funny though if you would have like dodged the kiss, because I like, put my hand on your chin and like we went in for it. It was really sweet. It was still awkward, but it was sweet. Mm-hmm. But like, can you imagine if you wouldn't have been ready and you would have just been like, psh, like just moved your face? That would have been so funny.
I think it's a good idea to ask, honestly.
Yeah.
Because like we were just talking with friends like literally less than a week ago, and he asked her and she said no.
Hey, real quick, if you haven't already hit the like button and subscribe, please do that right now. It would really mean the world to us. It actually helps us out a ton. It tells the algorithm to push this episode out to more people. So go ahead, smash that like button, hit subscribe. Thanks for doing it. Okay, now back to the episode. Okay, so now we've got Allie. Allie said, this was a double date I went on with my husband, boyfriend at the time, and another couple. And the other guy was hitting on me the entire time. And it wasn't subtle either. It was very clear that I wasn't interested, but I was polite about it. I texted my friend afterward and said, I'm so sorry he turned out to be so disrespectful. And she blamed me. Worst date, 100%. We were so uncomfortable, my husband swore off double dates forever. Wow.
Oh, they were married at the time and he's flirting with her?
No. So it was boyfriend at the time. So I guess it was just a double date, and the guy was hitting on her the whole time on the double date. That is so weird. That is so uncomfortable. Why would you hit on somebody while they're with somebody else? Like, if you're gonna do it and it's not okay to do it, like, do it when their significant other is not around. But to
That's so
hit on them,
disrespectful.
like, what?
Would you say something if someone did that?
I'd be like, back the F off, dude. Like, what's your deal? I would probably leave. Like, I would be like, I'm out. Like, this is weird. You're being weird. I would talk to the person. Yeah. Well, one time we had a friend of ours slapped you on the butt, and I confronted him.
Oh,
that made me really mad.
Yeah.
And I think like we haven't really talked to that guy since.
No, that was like so. Well, you like called him out, and then he like didn't say sorry, and so then we just like never hung out again.
Yeah.
Because we were like, that's not cool. That's not funny.
Like, he was trying to be funny and silly and stuff. Like, it wasn't like an aggressive, like, super uncomfy one, but it was still completely uncalled for. You don't slap a woman on the butt.
We were friends, but not that close. Also, none of your friends could be that close with me that it'd be okay for them to slap me on the butt.
Nobody could. I can't think of anybody that could slap you on the butt other than maybe your brother. But even then, that would be weird. You know?
That wouldn't be that weird, honestly.
Really? You slap your brother on the butt?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, okay.
I also pants him sometimes. Okay. Oh, yeah. Remember when I pulled his pants down and he was playing the Oculus?
Oh, yeah. You did that. That was funny.
That's a classic. Really okay. Pick me up for church. We had went on a hiking date previously because we had mutual friends, but we went to church where he put his arm around me and everything's super complimentary. But afterwards, we get into the car and he said he wasn't sure about where this was headed because he realized he was attracted to the girl sitting in front of us at church and had matched with her on Hinge before and never pursued that. So he was interested in pursuing it and realized that sitting there, he wanted to still hang out afterwards, and I was like, no, please take me home. Imagine, like, dropping that bomb and being like, so you want to go to brunch now?
Yikes. Yeah, why would you do that actively on a date? I think we're ignoring the simple fact that if your feelings have changed or if anything has, changed throughout your dating experience, you don't need to, like, be on a date while you drop this news. You can just like say, hey, we need to have a conversation.
Exactly.
You can say, hey, let's have a conversation, lay the news, make a clean break and be done. You don't
But even that, like, if it's just a simple date, I feel like there is this like certain culture of like overthinking and like being like, I don't know where this is headed, this direction. It's just say, hey, like, keep it more casual. Just be like, I think that, I want to pursue other people at this time. Like, thanks for the date that we had. I enjoyed it, and like, no need to be exclusive at this time.
Yeah, totally.
Keep it light. Keep it lighthearted.
Oh yeah. I was a single mom of a 7-month-old baby when I matched with a super nice guy on Tinder. Okay, first of all, I wonder how old this was, because like Tinder's not really an app where you date anymore. It's more of just a hookup app. But anyway, he was super sweet and fine with the fact that I already had a child. After 2 weeks of talking, we decided to meet. He was my first ever Tinder date, so I was super nervous.
Can I say something?
What's up?
It's kind of annoying how it's like the women have to be like almost carry it like baggage, like having a kid.
Ah.
Whereas, like, I feel like whoever the baby daddy here is not going around on dating apps and being like, oh, by the way, I have a kid.
I will say this, though, and this is weird. I don't know why it's this way, but I feel like a woman would almost like it if a guy had a kid.
Because we like to nurture in
I
general.
know. I
like,
think that's like almost attractive. Like, oh my gosh, you have a kid. Like, I
Yeah.
love that. But I think, and
guys
it's not
are like,
necessarily
oh,
the
it's
same.
baggage.
Not necessarily, but I would say more so than women, right? Like, if a guy is looking for a partner and he already has a kid, I think that would just make women's hearts melt.
Yeah, it
Seeing
would.
them as a dad, because they're like, oh my gosh, I want you to be a father to my babies. But no, you're totally right. It's definitely different for men and women, and that's interesting.
annoying.
We met at his place. I know. I should have been a little bit more careful with that. And one thing led to another, and we ended up in his bed.
Where's the baby?
Where's the baby? When we were done, he got up to shower, and that was the moment when I realized that the bed sheets were totally wet. And half a second later, I realized that it was my breast milk. At some point, my boobies just decided that it would be nice to give him a little shower. Oh my gosh, I
That's
can't
probably
even
why he
explain how
showered.
embarrassed I was. I apologized, and he just replied, yeah, I noticed. I thought that I'll never see him again, and we were a little upset because of that. Flash forward to this exact moment. I have 2 more kids with him.
Aww.
We have our own place, steady jobs, and a few dogs. Wouldn't change a thing.
Aww.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. It would be kind of, I think that was kind of sweet though, because he like didn't say anything. He just like
Yeah.
got to shower.
Wow, that's crazy. That is insane.
Has that ever happened to you?
I don't know. I've never had, like, the milk's never got on the sheets, but it's gotten in other places.
Moving right along.
Moving right along.
That's impressive, girl. Go with the milk supply.
Totally.
Okay, this one's from Bruno. Well, never have I ever been on a date, but because there was one guy that left me waiting for hours. I got home after 2 or 3 hours waiting, and then I found out that he was with his parents and brother at the beach, so I accepted a reschedule later the date. She agreed to reschedule the date. The second time he canceled right before the hour that we marked. I never spoke with him again after that.
Wow.
Okay, well that doesn't mean you have to give up on dating altogether, girl.
Totally.
You just one sour apple in the patch.
That's right.
But yeah, that's annoying. Flakiness. And if you're going to be like that on the first date, it's kind of like, okay, you're already setting the tone. That's the thing. I feel like, ladies, listen, the guys they will show their true colors right off the bat. That's when they're going to be their best. Their first date is they're going to be on their best behavior.
Yeah.
And if they're already striking out, it's like, okay, let's just not even
It's not going to get better. It's not
going to get
If
better.
you're in a relationship and the relationship's not going well and you're like, well, we made it through the hard stuff, so it's going to get better
Or
now.
you're getting in like bad fights at the beginning.
That is a major red flag.
Yeah.
Major red flag. Because, like, look, arguments and fights are unavoidable. They will
it
happen.
happens to every
It happens
couple.
to literally every couple. But if you're getting those, like, right away, that's a huge red flag, and you should sprint away from that person.
You're like, it's not going to work out.
Because I feel like in the early stages of our relationship,
We didn't fight at all.
It was all sunshine and rainbows, dude.
Yeah.
It was incredible. And anyway,
We still have sunshine.
We do. We still have
rainbows,
sunshine and
but
rainbows.
there's still some clouds.
that's right. So this is from Helen. This is worst date story. I had a male friend, childhood friend from school. We used to go out on dates as dinners. Dinner, cinema. Well, one day he texts me, we're on our way. I get confused because we usually went out alone. Turns out his new girlfriend had insisted on coming. She was furious. She told him off, slapped him, and yelled at him on the way to the restaurant. He had only booked a table for 2 and only had 2 movie tickets booked. I'm a little confused, but we'll keep reading. We got to the restaurant and the waitress is a bit slow, so she doesn't pick up on the situation. We get a small table, have to squeeze around, and she only gives us 2 menus. The girlfriend was still furious, so she wouldn't let me look at the menu. I ordered from memory. Thank God I checked out the menu online before I left home. And dinner was full of awkward silence when she wasn't telling my friend off. I ate my main course in a hurry and excused myself. In the bathroom, I called one of my other friends and asked her to save me. 5 minutes later, she called me, pretending something terrible had happened, and I could leave the 2 lovebirds behind and dash out. It's kind of weird.
That's on your friend.
Yeah. Whoa.
Why did he think it was okay to take you on a date with a girl?
Totally. I guess he just thought that they were friends, and I don't know. It just, something happens. I think once you're in a relationship, like it's harder to have friends that are of the opposite sex, and it's
yeah.
sad that it is that way, but it just can get weird. And so maybe he was hoping that they could just still be friends, but clearly
that is a hot topic. Do you think that you can be friends with someone of the opposite sex while you're in a relationship?
Yes, but like you're not going to go get dinner and a movie with them. You know, that's not really the thing to do with your friend.
So what does that mean? Like, what can you do? You can just talk? Can you text one-on-one?
I don't know.
It's hard because it's like if they're single, if they're in a relationship, it makes it different, I feel like. But if they're also single, then I feel like it's kind of like, ugh, not a good idea.
This one is from Annie. She says, "Oh, where do I start? He told me within 10 minutes he wanted to meet my mom. Oh, I think they're British. So they could bond over the fact that they both have eczema. Okay. He called me posh because I went to uni. Uni would be, dude, they're totally
like
British.
Australian.
Wait, no, I think they're British because if they say uni, like that's totally like a British thing. I paid my own way through with jobs, so did not appreciate being told I was handed it on a plate. He spent 30 minutes telling me how much he hates his job in a call center. Then he told me that we're hiring and if I got hired there, he would get a bonus. Then he asked me to apply. Insisted on walking me home while limping. He had a sprained ankle the day before, or he had sprained his ankle the day before, and I didn't want him knowing where I lived. So I got him to walk me to Sainsbury's, and after a very awkward kiss, I went to kiss him on the cheek. He turned his head and opened his mouth.
What are these guys doing?
Why are guys opening their mouth for kisses on the first date? Don't do that. No one wants that. That's just makes me uncomfortable right now. Encasing my mouth and his entirely.
Encasing.
If you're encasing someone's mouth in yours, something's wrong.
That's a word that you like, encasing.
Really?
You say the word encasing a lot.
When do I say the word encasing?
I don't know, just frequently.
I don't think I say the word encasing that much. I literally turned around and sprinted away as fast as I could. We're talking, no shame, full sprint, all the way home. He later told me it was a great date and he wanted to see me again. When I told him no, he got so angry.
Oh,
what an idiot.
So many weird things there.
Dude.
Saying that she was like handed her tuition on a silver plate.
Jeez.
Like,
come on. On the first date, you're going to tell someone that their life circumstances were not because of their hard work.
He wanted to meet with the mom over eczema. So many weird things.
That is really weird.
Oh gosh, this one's quick, but it's disgusting.
Oh gosh.
This is from Brooklyn. I went on a blind date with this dude and he picked his nose and ate it off me.
No.
I'm gonna vomit. There's very few things that gross me out more than the thought of eating boogers.
There was a girl that I sat next to in class in elementary school and she would do that. And I didn't know what to do with myself. Like we were young kids too. Like we were in the third grade, but like as a third grader, I knew that was a big no-no. You know,
disgusting.
Like why do you got it? Okay, it's one thing to pick your nose. Like if you're gonna pick your nose, do it in private. Wash your hands. Don't let anybody see you. But if you're gonna eat your boogers,
Matt, something gross that you do.
What?
You will sneeze, and you will leave the snot and spit on your arm.
I wipe it off
until you have a napkin.
Okay.
But if you're driving, you'll just keep driving with your arm.
Okay, Abby.
With nasty stuff
if I'm driving it, okay. First of all, I have a sneezing problem. I can't help it. When I sneeze, stuff comes out.
Ew! And every time, I'm like, just blow your nose.
If I'm driving a car, like I can't. What do you want me to do? Pull over and like wipe it off my arm? So like I eventually get to it. It's gross. Don't get me wrong. Like I don't like it. I'm not like chilling over here.
Maybe you should pull over.
But I'm not going to crash the car to get, some boogers off my arm. You know what I'm saying?
Matt, that's really gross.
It is gross. I'm sorry. Here's my question. How do you sneeze without anything coming out? Like when you sneeze,
I just regularly blow my nose.
Literally nothing comes out.
Because it's already blown.
But like if I blow my nose, I just get like it's almost like more comes after that. Like it's like I'm just
really
starting this chain reaction of more and more coming to my nose if I blow my nose. Okay, this one's crazy. Went on a date with a guy. He wanted me to be his girlfriend after one date. When I said I needed more time to get to know him, he got really pushy, so I told him I thought it would be best if we just were friends. He proceeded to follow me around at work. When I moved jobs, I didn't hear from him again. Fast forward 14 years, he was convicted of assaulting and then stalking an ex-girlfriend. Can you believe that? I clearly got a lucky escape. Jeez. This is from Sophie.
What?
I feel like I've never known anybody to get stalked or anything like that. I've never been around someone who's gone through that. So it almost feels like it's something from a movie. So to hear about it from someone who actually happened to them, like
that is so That's creepy.
Yeah.
Because also, I feel like stalking is something that's very hard to prove. And for him to actually get charged, it must have been extremely serious.
Oh, totally. I've heard about girlfriends like calling their boyfriend like thousands of times in a day to a point where it's like considered harassment. There was one like crazy girlfriend that did that. I saw a news article about it.
Oh, yeah. I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is from Alyssa. So I don't know if this counts as a date, but this was the first time sleeping over at my BF's parents' house, and I'm on my period. It was also the first time spending the night with my boyfriend. I came over, we eat dinner, and suddenly I noticed something on my chair cushion.
Oh, no.
I have bled through, and me, being the awkward 15-year-old I was, is too embarrassed to get up to go to the bathroom. So instead, I stay seated and ignore it. Then, when we have eaten dinner, we play some board games at the table, and me, with my boyfriend, have to switch chairs. So not only did I get blood on 2 of their chairs, oh my gosh, she still sat down.
Oh, gosh.
My boyfriend sat on it. Anyway,
No,
we've been together for 5 years now, and neither my BF, me, or my mother-in-law, who had to clean their chairs, has ever mentioned it.
Wait, they were sleeping over and she was 15?
I do think that's very odd.
That's what stuck out to me. I was like, okay, sleeping over, and then it's like, I'm 15. I'm like, whoa, I feel like that's a little concerning.
It's a little concerning.
I mean,
But
I'm glad it all worked out, but like,
yeah, I don't think I would let, if Griffin wanted
I would
to have
definitely,
no.
No.
Well, we stayed at each other's parents' house as teenagers.
I mean, we did. I guess we
But
slept
we
in
were long
separate
difference.
rooms.
Or
Yeah.
long difference.
We were long difference.
Long distance.
Yeah, I mean, I was 18, you were 17, then you turned 18 while we were dating. I mean, you were
But
only...
I mean, it's like I couldn't easily drive home. If my parents lived even 30 minutes
Yeah.
away, I would have been driving home.
Totally.
But that's kind of weird. That I was like, it's my first time spending the night, and it's
Gosh,
like
15
you're 15.
seems so young to me.
That's a child.
Like, I'm about to turn 25. So, I mean, 15 is literally 10 years ago for me.
Oh
That's
my
crazy.
gosh.
Um,
I think this is so funny because I feel like every girl can relate to, like, obviously having an experience where you, like, bleed through.
yeah.
But the fact that she continued to sit there and let it happen,
Yikes.
you gotta, like, how bad did it have to get before?
What did you do? One time that happened to you in school, right?
Happened to me in 8th grade.
And
in history class.
did you put on your PE clothes, or what did you do?
No, what I did was I pulled. This was the era where everyone was wearing those white camisoles under their shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that for like a layered look?
Oh, yeah.
I pulled my white cami like way down past my butt, so like no one
Okay.
could see. I quickly wiped off the chair and then I went to the bathroom.
It was like a plastic chair, so it's not like it didn't have any embroidery or fabric on it.
It was like a wooden chair, honestly.
Oh, okay.
But I definitely just threw those jeans away and put on my PE shorts.
That's not fun.
I know.
That stinks, especially to be like young and you don't know when it's gonna happen, and
Dude,
then it
how
just
are
comes
you
out of
gonna
nowhere.
like imagine having a daughter like?
You gotta be understanding. Like, you just have to.
No, of course you gotta
Yeah.
be understanding, but it's like I can't even. Feel like it would be weird for a dad to talk to their daughter about that stuff.
I think your dad was really uncomfortable to talk to you about it. Right?
Yeah, I forced him to talk
didn't
about
he
it.
just say like, "You're becoming a woman, Abby"? Like, he
Yeah,
just
I
kind of.
think he did.
And you just were
I
like,
think he didn't know what
"Okay."
to say, but he felt like he should say something.
Yeah.
But I don't really remember.
Yeah.
But I would always like once I got in high school, I would just like make jokes about it, and it would make him super uncomfortable.
I don't know. I'm not really afraid to have uncomfortable conversations, though.
I guess you're right.
I'm not scared to talk about that with our kids. Like, when it comes to having to talk with our kids, we're just gonna have it, and we're gonna have it at a younger age because I want them to learn
no,
from
but
us.
we'll have the talk when they bring it up.
True, but I want them to be informed and aware of like things
Well,
at an age
actually,
appropriate
you know
level.
what? We
'Cause
shouldn't wait for them to bring it up.
I agree, because if they're bringing it up, I think that if they're bringing it up, Abby, they've already heard.
They've already heard about it.
Exactly. So I think
Yeah.
we need to bring it up at an age appropriate level and explain to them the birds and the bees and all of that in an
Yeah.
age appropriate way.
I
Even
don't
when they're
want
like,
some classmate or
No.
some kid at the gym to be
but, like,
telling them about that stuff.
we can like literally we can have the sex talk when they're 5, but like in a way that's like
Yes.
very, very surface level. It does not go into detail.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We'll have to learn up on that. But I think waiting too long, they're definitely going to learn it
You
from their
asked
classmates.
so many questions as a kid.
I did. Well, I was very curious.
You know what's so sweet is that
What?
your mom said you asked her the question, did it hurt you?
Yeah, I did say that.
That's so wholesome.
Yeah, I was like, did it hurt? But
You were really thinking about so
I was
many
curious.
details.
I'm sure we're gonna have curious boys too. Like, I'm sure
we
our
are.
sons will be so
Even
curious.
Griffin now going through all of our cabinets. I'm like, he
goes
wants
through
to know where everything
He is the most curious person I've ever been around in my whole entire life.
When I'm chewing, he'll just like stare at my mouth trying to figure out what I'm doing.
And especially with like where the internet's at now too,
You're so right.
our kids will find out things about sex or whatever on the internet before us if we don't have an age appropriate conversation. Also, if we don't have like restrictions too on the amount of time they have on their iPad or computer or whatever it is, and we just need to make sure that they're getting information from us and not the world, not from their friends, not from their classmate.
Exactly.
Like we want us to be the one to educate them.
No, I totally agree.
Because I think they can learn. It can get messy, you know.
Isn't it funny how like Mark Zuckerberg or wait, maybe I don't even know, but the people of these like that have created these social media platforms like don't even use them themselves.
Well, I barely even use it. I have time.
Don't let their kids have accounts.
I have restrictions on Instagram and TikTok. Like I literally go on to Instagram and TikTok just to make posts, and then I get off of it. I literally do. Like it's my job, and then I get off. And if I consume media, I usually consume more YouTube because I feel like it's not as
like stimulating,
dopamine inducing. Yeah, because you just get like constant hits of dopamine on TikTok. I am glad that TikTok's moving towards a place where they're making longer videos. A lot of the videos now on TikTok are getting closer to like 4 and 5 minutes, which is cool. But I think it's scary when people just are watching quick video after quick video, and it's
not, we don't really know what that does to your brain at this point.
It's so new. Like never before in the history of the world have we ever had that. So
like right now we don't really give Griffin screen time. If he's like on a plane or in the car and he's really upset, we'll let him look at a screen, or we're trying to keep him awake so he can take a nap when we get home. But like we only usually just let him listen to it, and then if we're at home, he doesn't use anything with the screen.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like his own personal podcast. We just play Miss Rachel and don't even show the screen, and he'll just chill out listening to Miss Rachel.
He just likes to listen to music.
Yeah, but if he is really worked up, we will give him the screen. I know technically you're probably not supposed to do that until they're 1.5, but when he's on a plane, we don't want to piss off the whole entire plane with a screaming baby. So
it's just survival at that point.
Yeah, it is survival.
Like, when do you think you'd let Griffin have his own phone, or like would you ever let him have social media?
That's a really good question. I think that my opinion on that, like my opinion is going to change a lot as we get older. I think he'll be allowed screen time. I think that he'll be allowed using an iPad or computer or whatever it is, but I think it'll be monitored. I think we'll have to limit how much time he gets. And I'm not against him like getting to scroll on different social media apps as long as it's monitored.
Not TikTok.
Yeah, I mean TikTok. There's no TikTok kids.
Yeah, there's no guidelines.
But I think it needs to be monitored, and we need to be aware of like what he's watching and look at his search history. There's even ways to make it so that they can't delete their search history, so that we're aware of like what they're consuming. You know?
Yeah. That's good. Because I was talking to this mom earlier this week, and she has a kid literally the same age as Griffin. She said she wasn't going to give him a smartphone until he's 18.
Wow. See, okay, I would disagree with that, though. Because as a kid, I learned so much on YouTube. I learned how to edit videos on YouTube. I became very passionate about video production as a young kid, because I could just go on YouTube and learn from professionals and buy the professional software. And I excelled in that space because of YouTube. And I know that TikTok and YouTube and other platforms have educational material for kids. Yeah. So I think I think you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater if you just say, oh,
I hate when you say that phrase.
Well, I think it's true though. I think if you just completely get rid of everything, then you lose the good with the bad, right?
Yeah.
It's like hand sanitizer. If you put on hand sanitizer instead of hand washing your hands, hand sanitizer kills the good germs that are good on your hands. Did you know that? Like when you wash your hands, it only kills the bad germs.
What good germs could possibly be on your hands?
Maybe I'm not using the right term. Maybe there's not a such thing as good germs, but I've always been told that when you use hand sanitizer, it kills the good stuff too, along with the bad.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Where have we gone?
We're way off topic. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this episode of the Unplanned podcast, or listening wherever you get your podcasts. Again, if you could please leave a review for us, it would mean the world. I know that we say that every week, but we just really appreciate your reviews, and we love hearing your feedback too. We want to know how we can make this show better for you guys. We want to keep upping our game and making this something that you look forward to every week, because we really look forward to it. We should read a review. What do we got?
Let's do it.
What's the first one that pops up?
Let's see here. It says, this is from Rachel Connell. She gave us 5 stars.
Hey.
And she says, carpool conversation. I listened to Matt and Abby during my 40-minute commute to work, and it feels like they are in the car with me having a conversation. They're so genuine and uplifting, and it's such a great way to pass the long commute.
That's so sweet.
So nice.
That's really nice. I do like that our podcast is more conversational. and that's just how it is. And it's like we're hanging out with you guys, so I think that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like to hang out with you too. It's fun to have these conversations and
slow down.
Yeah, definitely slow down. So,
well, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next week.
as always, 3, 2, 1,
Peace out, dudes.